Job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard. And have you got another job for me?
Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia. I even heard he made a pact with the devil.
If you're going to see the hermit, be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the hermit.
I came about that sword of yours.
Go fuck yourself!
Damn it, Hermit. What was that all about? Where can I find that broken sword?
It's not far. At the edge of the meadow up there are 2 entangled birch trees. There's a grave beneath them, and the sword is on the grave.
Now that's what I call steel.
Well, do you have it? Of course. Your son deserves the best. You can take it.
No, hold on to it. I'd be glad if you gave it to Alder yourself.
We're in trouble. You've got to help me.
What's happened?
The sword's gone. Someone must have taken it.
The wedding present for the young lord?
Not so loud, for God's sake. If I don't get it back, the old man will wipe the floor with me. You'll see. He'll make sure I never forge another nail in this county.
Yes? What do you need?
You were a little nervous, weren't you?
Not at all.
That's a lovely yellow attire you're wearing. You're exactly the kind of fella I'm looking for. Do you know Radovan? The blacksmith from Takov?
I don't. And whatever happened, I don't know anything about it.
You don't know him? Then why did he tell me he remembered you hanging around him right before he got robbed?
It's not my fault, I swear. It's the devil himself who guides my hand. I'm completely defenseless against him.
The devil, eh? You better come up with a better story next time. Now give me everything you took.
Yes, of course. Here, take it all. Well, what would I do with this, right?
A nice haul. And now the sword.
Sword? But I don't have any sword.
Don't lie to me, sticky fingers.
I might be a thief, but I'm not a liar. This is really all I took. And anyway, where would I hide a sword?
All right. I'll be going now.
Please, don't tell anyone. I'll sit on my hands from now on.
And it still wasn't enough for them. That lisping old fool keeps telling everyone we stole the meadow from all over the place. You think I haven't got enough further than Sassan?
Well now, that is one place.
It might have occurred to me you were the one I was looking for.
Me? Why?
I expect he means me, Flower. No doubt Henry assumed I'd starve to death if he wasn't on my arse for a while. So, are you glad to see me?
I'm glad you're still alive and kicking.
You were worried about me? Well, no. I mean, Henry.
No. I just wouldn't want to explain to Sir Hanush why I couldn't keep an eye on my living ball and chain.
Watch your tongue.
Like a pair of little boys.
What are you even doing here?
Radovan the blacksmith has lost the sword he made for the groom as a wedding present.
Well, that's a bit of a fuck-up, eh? But I'm not really surprised when he was shoving it under everyone's noses and telling them there's none better in the county.
So you think someone nicked it?
I don't think so. I'm sure of it. The bailiff's son, Svatobluk.
What? Svatya? Nonsense.
What's going on here? You again?
Who is this drunk?
This is Wojtek.
Keep my name out of your mouth. And you? What are you doing here with my... girl?
I am not your girl. That is certainly not only yours. And it's a few years since anyone called me a girl.
Did you hear that? Scram. Nobody's interested in you.
So you've ganged up on me, eh? First you make a fool of me, and then this prick.
We didn't agree on anything. And forget about Mishka. She had no time for either of us.
I'm having a really bad day today. Women don't want me. Dude, my friends, I'm a joke. All that's left is the booze. Booze never lets you down.
Well, each to his own.
I was afraid you were going to start a fight.
You don't have to be afraid with me.
Hold on, no change in the subject. What did you mean about Svatia?
Like I said, he took the sword.
And how do you know it was him who took it?
Because I saw him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do I have to drag every word out of you? Where did you see him?
The blacksmith went to the latrine and left his sword outside. The blockhead. Svatya had his eye on him the whole time and just seized the opportunity.
He and Semi will be family soon.
Why don't you ask him yourself? But from what I hear, the Samin's really sticking his craw. Why? I don't know. You'll have to figure that out for yourself.
What did he do with the sword then?
I have no idea. I had better things to do than follow him around. Last I saw, he disappeared into the battlements by the latrine, and then he showed up in the backyard under the dovecot. He didn't have the sword anymore.
All right. I'll take your word for it and try to find the sword.
Finally, you've come to your senses. And Henry,
Yes?
just don't fuck it up. We need to talk to von Berghoff.
Radovan's present for young Lord Semin is missing. You wouldn't happen to know anything about it.
I didn't see any sword.
Sword? How do you know it's a sword?
Fuck. All right, I saw it. Like everyone here, I reckon. Radovan was bragging about it all over.
I know you took the sword. I have witnesses.
Do you see a sword on me? You can't prove anything.
You won't wriggle your way out of this one after what you've been saying about the Semins. And if you don't have the sword anymore, so much the worse for you. It'll look like you not only nicked it, but sold it too.
But you can't... All right, then. I confess.
Why would you even steal the sword in the first place?
I wanted to humiliate old Samin. For the way he treats us. If the present for his son got lost right under his nose, he'd look like a demented old fool.
Well, poor Radovan would be the one who'd get the worst of it. And I'm right behind him. You didn't think of that?
I'm sorry.
Where's the sword now?
I had to get rid of it. Fast. So I threw it in the pond.
You can't be serious. How am I supposed to get it back now? God Almighty save you if it fell in deep.
Nothing to do with that.
Oh, it must have been them lovely neighbors of yours. I like the top of your
Here it is. Just like Svatya said.
No, thanks. But there's something I'd like to ask you. How long did you have to kiss old Semin's ass?
Found your sword?
Thank God, Henry. I was afraid I'd have to look for a job in another county. Who stole it?
That's not important. The main thing is it's turned up undamaged.
As you say. You have my thanks. You got it to me just in time. The ceremony is about to start.
So Lord von Berghoff has arrived?
Not yet, but the father is in a hurry to have his son married. I think the lad's a little scared. I'm not surprised. I had to get drunk as a lord before my wedding.
I didn't think they'd start the ceremony without Lord von Berghoff.
He'll show up, don't worry. Something just held him up, you know. Lordly business.
Where on earth is he? We've been waiting for hours. I sent someone to look for him.
Master Chamberlain, how's it looking? When's Sir Otto coming?
I wish I knew, sir. His party should have been here long ago.
What?
I sent someone to look for them, but there's no sign of them. It's regrettable, but we'd better start without him.
Let's get started, Father.
Damn it.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to witness the sacred union of Agnes and Alder. I ask you before God and His holy church to make your holy vow of matrimony, love, honor, and fidelity. Do you so swear until death do you part?
I do.
I do.
I now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Right back where we started.
Von Burgov's not coming, so why stay here? I'll congratulate the newlyweds and go. Father, have you seen the bride and groom? I'd like to personally congratulate them.
I haven't. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen young Alder since he made his vows.
And the bride?
A few moments ago, Agnes was talking with the cook's daughter.
Thank you, Father. I won't disturb you anymore.
God be with you.
Have you seen your sister and young Lord Semin? I want to give them my best wishes for their marriage.
I think I saw them going into the cellar. Their marriage has lasted barely half a day, and they already can't handle it sober.
Can't be that bad, surely.
If I had old Semin for a father-in-law, I wouldn't stay sober either. God be with you, and have a pleasant evening.
If you're my friend, you'll have a drink with me. It'll be the
Do this to me. Why did he leave? What are you doing here? Who are you?
I'm Henry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I was hoping to find you both here. Sir Alder as well. Come now, dry your tears. What's the matter, eh?
It's Alder.
Did he...
No. He just disappeared. Left practically right from the altar.
But why? You two look so happy.
I was hoping he'd stay at home more after we were married. Instead of always riding off somewhere. What a silly goose I am.
Don't worry. He'll be back soon. Nobody would leave a pretty girl like you alone for long.
He couldn't care less about me. His father arranged the marriage mainly for the money they're getting from my pa.
I think he really loves you. During the ceremony, he was gazing at you like an apparition of the Virgin Mary.
Then why would he disappear right after? I'm probably the only bride ever to be abandoned at her own wedding. I'll be a laughing stock. Oh well, I've already cried buckets. I could use a drink. How about you?
I wanted to congratulate you anyway, so good luck, good health. May you soon have a healthy son, and later at least 2 daughters. And may...
Make it short. I'm thirsty.
Here's to you.
booze!
Oh, fucking hell! It's you again!
Oh, fight!
Fuck off, man! You wanna fuck the bride, huh?
That's not what you think!
What are you doing, you drunken fool?
Someone's been coveting the neighbour's wife, eh?
Bollocks!
I'm not going to blame you. You might have waited until this all went home.
Let's be having you! Let's be having you!
I'll be done with you in a flash!
Hey! Coming up with this bastard!
Move! No! Nice it!
Him back!
Come on!
So that's your game, eh?
Back your arsehole!
Quickly, for the love of God, sort out this rabble before they turn everything into firewood!
Cursed luck. Well. Distinguished guests.
For the love of God. Does it have to be him?
Trust me, friend.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
We need to have a word with you.
Would your graces care to sit?
I think not.
What brings you to my humble rectory, gentlemen?
Are you all packed, Godwin? I heard you got kicked out of your humble rectory.
So who do I owe that to? You wouldn't have had anything to do with this, would you, Hanush?
You've no one to thank for that but yourself, Godwin. If you hadn't been living like an animal, you wouldn't be regretting it now.
You're wrong, though. I don't regret anything.
And I trust you won't regret hearing us out now. We have a secret mission for you.
Secret mission? Sir Radzig, I hope you're not trying to drag me into some state espionage game of yours. Somehow, over the years, I fell out of the habit of being inconspicuous.
You buffoon! Let his lordship finish!
Do you know about Lord Capon's mission?
Aye. I heard a word or two about that. Where was it you sent him? Trotsky?
Yes, to Sir Otto von Bergoff's castle.
Royal Chamberlain von Berger. The League of Lords fella.
You know more than I'd expect from you.
It doesn't surprise me. I also know that Trotsky is about 3 days' ride away.
2 days, weather permitting.
The young lord should have been back long since then, shouldn't he?
He should. But he's not.
Why did you come to me for this?
For Christ's sake! Get your booze-soaked noggin working. Isn't it obvious? We need you to go to Trotsky and find out what's keeping him.
Why don't you send Henry after him? As far as I know, he's always done a good job for you.
That's exactly why he went with Capon.
So it's more serious than I thought. All right. I'll do it.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Oh, don't get ahead of yourself. I won't rest until my nephew is safely back in Perkstein.
When should I go?
Right away.
Fuck! Did they have to lock us up in here, of all places? I have a feeling these walls are moving. The cell is getting smaller and smaller. Can you hear me? Let me out! Hey! Hear me!
Give it a rest. No one's come in.
I feel like we're going to be crushed here.
Well, that ought to bring us closer together.
Very droll. I just don't like these kind of places.
Like jails. Not a lot of people do.
No, I suppose they don't. Listen here, Henry. I wanted to say, well, that I'm glad to see you again.
After all, as you know, I'm just a common dung grubber, while you're the great Bellatore.
Bellator? But I was stupid to think like that. It was stupid. But now I'm sitting here too for behaving like a Bellator. I might have left you in it.
Yeah, you might.
Nevertheless, Henry, I wanted to say that, well, you were right. I behaved badly. Awfully.
Do you realise the shit you got me into? I was stuck in a foreign region, far from home, without money, without my things, and the worst of it all, I was completely alone.
I know! I already said I behaved like a fool, all right? So, what were you getting up to the whole time, anyway?
I was working in the blacksmith's forge in Takov.
Oh. Well, lucky for you, you have a trade you could work at.
Sort of. Most of the time, I was actually chasing after lost carts, or scrambling over the rocks looking for hermits.
Well, at least you weren't bored, eh?
What about you?
I also stuck to what I'm best at.
What, boozing and whoring?
Ha-fucking-ha. Hunting.
But where did you get the gear for that? We arrived in Troskowitz like a pair of beggars.
By using the old noggin, pal. I pulled a strong thread out of those rags I had on, made a snare for game, and before you could say jackrabbit, I was hawking half a dozen hares around the local cottages.
Weren't you worried about the local gamekeeper?
That nitwit! I found out he was fond of the booze, so I snooped around his lodge, and when sleeping it off, I went hunting. Once, I even went into his shed and, borrowed a bow and a quiver full of arrows.
Thieving, too, to top it all. Christ!
Oh, give over. Once things are sorted out, I'll give it all back. Shh, quiet! There's something going on outside the door.
Have you seen Captain Thomas? Yarrick says he's in a bad way.
He's right. Them fuckers cut him up good.
Last I heard from Father Nicodemus, though, was that his wounds are healing.
Aye. Only he's been struck down by a fever. And the Sawbones is away with Sir Otto.
Good God.
Captain Thomas! Yes! He met us before we reached the pond, didn't he? We showed him our letter.
But he's in a fever. You heard them.
Oh, we'll deal with that somehow. Hey!
Leave it be.
Hey! Open up, you rabble! We're messengers from Ratai. Your captain can confirm it. Do you hear?
Again?
Those damned fools won't give us any peace.
Come on, fellas! Be reasonable! We're envoys of the Lord of Lipa!
About time. Just you wait till Lord von Berghoff hears how you treat a noble.
You, come with me to the courtyard. Chamberlain says we ain't gonna waste bread on you for nothing. We've got a job for you.
What about me? I want to talk to the captain right now.
You want to talk to God, fella. You're getting the gallows for poaching.
What? But you can't hang a nobleman.
Jesus, wait! Hear that? That bell's tolling for you, mate. 12 more times, and the priest will come for you. Hunt!
But you can't!
Hans, don't worry, I'll fix it!
Move it!
I'm a nobleman! Do you hear me? I'm a noble! I'm Sir Hans Capon of Bergstein.
So, if you want to get out of here, you'll have to make amends and work off your debt. For a start, you can carry all the charcoal from this wagon up to the store.
Wait, though. What's going to happen with Capon?
With that madman? He was poaching, so he'll swing.
But he really is a noble.
Ain't you a bit old for fairy tales, son? Once the bell tolls for the 12th time, it won't matter a damn who he used to be anyway. If you want to do something for him, pray. And best pretend you don't know him.
Your Captain Thomas can testify that we're envoys from Rattay. It's the truth, I swear.
Don't you say a word about our captain. We don't know if the poor fellow will live to see morning. They moved him during the night to the chapel at the very top of the Maiden. It seems only God can help him now.
And can I go there? I really have to talk with Captain Thomas.
Don't fucking annoy me, fella. You got off lightly so far, believe me.
What? You won't even let me pray in the chapel?
We will not. You're not allowed inside at all. And don't let me catch you snooping around there.
What about my things? You took everything away from me.
That's what happens to people in jail. When we set you free, you'll get your stuff back. In the worst case, we might keep something to cover the damages you caused at the wedding. Got it?
Got it. What happens when I'm done with this?
What do you reckon? You'll get another job. And when there's no more work for you, you can bugger off wherever you like.
That's all?
Aye? What do you expect? The axe? Lord von Bergov is strict, but he ain't a tyrant. But poaching now, that's another matter.
I'll get to work then.
Good lad. The store's up by the gate to the inner bailey. Orsina the blacksmith is idling around somewhere there. He'll think up some job for you. Or go down to the outer bailey where they're building the scaffold near the gate. They'll be working up there for sure. And no wandering around where you're not allowed. Don't stick your nose inside the castle. Got it?
Yeah. Got it. The third toll. I better get moving. I was told to come and ask you for a job.
Nice timing. Do you know anything about carpentry?
No. Blacksmithing is more my field.
Ah, well, that's handy. I got the job of fixing up this here scaffold, so it don't collapse when we hang that poacher. But the whole thing is fucked. I need a good carpenter's axe. There's one broadaxe in the shed, but it's as blunt as a file. Of course, Orsina didn't find time all year to hone the thing.
That poacher is innocent.
An innocent poacher? But that's nothing to do with me. My job is to make sure it don't collapse when he swings. Go and get it from the shed, sharpen it, and bring it back to me.
Sure thing. Sharp as a razor. Here it is. Hope it's good.
Sharp as a skinning knife. Nice. Without your help, the scaffold could well collapse under that poacher. And nobody wants that.
Do you happen to know how I can get into the Maiden?
And what would you want in there?
I want to pray in the chapel. And they don't want to let me in.
The chapel, eh? Well, I'll be damned. I know one hand by the name of Binyek that wanted into the castle too, but for a damn different reason.
Did he succeed? In getting in, I mean?
Aye, he did. He climbed down into the well in the courtyard. See, there's caves under Torski, and the well ain't actually a well, but an underground pool in one of them caves. And from there, you can get to the dungeons, and then into the Maiden.
Oh, he sounds bold.
Oh, aye, but they still caught him and gave him a whipping. And when they found out how he done it, they took the cleats out of the well wall.
What does that mean?
That the next Binyek would have to jump in and not climb down. I wouldn't fancy that.
Indeed. You don't mind building a scaffold for an innocent man?
No, such matters ain't my concern. The lords decide. I just build the scaffold. A fella has to know his place in this world. Like my old pa used to say.
What was Binyek after in the castle?
A certain buxom chambermaid who wouldn't give him what he was after in the hay and wanted a fine feather bed.
I'll be going.
I've got to get back to work too. Farewell.
This is that well that Calder mentioned. Ah, shit. Oh, this was a bad idea. But it seems I won't drown, at least. The bell's ringing for Hans the 5th time. Hans! Are you there?
Henry! Is that you? You've got to get me the fuck out of here. They want to hang me.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's true. They're building a scaffold in the courtyard.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You've got to find that Captain Thomas, who can testify who we are.
I know. But they took him during the night up to the chapel in the Maiden Tower. They won't let me in there.
Jesus! Why do I have to have such rotten luck? Christ's wounds.
Don't blaspheme. A person in your shoes can't risk that.
It's all the same. How did you get in here anyway? Did they let you come and see me?
Oh, not exactly. I shouldn't be here. And if they catch me, the game's up.
That's not good. There's a guard just around the corner watching the jail.
Can you try and distract him? I'll hide in the meanwhile.
Sneak into the torture chamber opposite. It's empty now, fortunately.
The bell's ringing for Hans the 5th time.
In the brewery at noon, it's merry as a tap room. Merrily the boys all gather, singing in the back room. Merrily the boys all gather, singing in the back room. And now the sun is lowering, it's asleep until the morning. Jolly lads from all around to honor come wandering.
No one's interested in your squawking.
Christ almighty. Pain.
Mother of God, where's that stench coming from?
I suppose it was nothing. This place is off limits to you. Beat you into submission.
Eh? You won't surrender?
Pardon me for disturbing you, miss.
If you want to pray, go somewhere else. The chapel is closed. Unless you're a priest. Which I presume you're not.
No, I'm not. My name is Henry.
I'm Adela, Thomas's sister. What is it you want, Henry?
I need to talk to your brother.
No chance of that. He's been lying in a fever for 3 days. And the surgeon is away with Sir Otto. Unless he returns soon, Thomas won't be talking to anyone ever again.
Christ! But this is a matter of life and death. Thomas is the only one who can testify to what happened.
Yes! It's a matter of life and death for my brother. I want him to rest. Besides which, he's delirious and can't tell you anything.
What actually happened to him?
They were attacked by bandits by the pond. His mare, Arrow, brought him home. He was completely out of it. And little wonder, the way he was hacked up. If the surgeon was here, he'd be in his care. Some of his wounds have healed, but now he has a fever. He's been bedridden for 3 days.
I'm sorry. Maybe I could help somehow?
The only one who can help now is the priest. And I don't want to sound gloomy, but all he can do is pray too. Just the same as me.
Where's the physician?
He's with Lord von Berghoff. When Thomas started to get feverish, he left some concoction for him. He was only meant to be gone for a while. But it seems they got stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, the concoction ran out, and we don't have any other physician here.
Well, I'm not a physician, but I could try and brew that concoction. It can't hurt to try. Do you know what it was brewed from?
If I knew that, I'd have brewed it myself. Not even our surgeon knows. He does everything according to his books. He uses some medical manuscript, whether he's treating people or livestock.
And where is this book?
How should I know? Probably in his chambers, in the Crone.
I'll have a look there then.
But no one is allowed there.
I'll figure it out somehow.
Why do you want to help us?
Well, unless Thomas recovers and testifies that me and my friend are messengers from Rattay, then my friend will be executed.
You mean that poacher who's to be hanged?
He's a noble. Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. The whole thing is one big misunderstanding. And only Thomas can sort it out.
I'm a bit bewildered by all this. But all right.
The main thing is, I want Thomas to live too.
Yes, you're right.
I'll get going then. I don't have much time, and neither does Thomas.
Go. And thank you. It's all right. You'll be fine.
The 6th bell. Half the time is up.
Huh?
What's that I hear?
Christ, I'll faint from hunger here. You've no business upstairs. Stay down here. Where do you think you're going? There's nothing for you there. Not one step past the kitchen. If it's scrub you're after, you'll have to wait. I've been here for ages. And have to go on duty too.
I suppose you're waiting here for a bite to eat.
Damn right. Like, I know they're preparing a banquet for his nibs, but they could have left one cook here. Or at least a bit of gruel, for Christ's sake.
I can see if I've got anything to eat on me.
Hey, I need some decent grub, not some mouldy bread. Thanks. Well, at least I won't starve.
You're welcome. Enjoy it.
What?
expect me to find there anyway? Gotcha, fella! I'll help you arrest him!
Did you get it?
Yeah.
It will have to be diluted. His fever is getting worse. If this doesn't work, I don't think he'll last long.
You all to be vigilant. These days we have all sorts of vagabonds, drifters, outlaws and bandits roaming the country. And we have one of those vermin here today. A fella called Hans, who is clearly not right in the head. A dangerous madman, a brawler, and a thug, the worst of all, a poacher. And so, for the damages he caused to our dear Lord Otto von Berghoff, he is sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead!
Stop! You can't execute this man. He's a noble. Captain Thomas here will testify that we're messengers from Ratoy.
What is this nonsense, for Christ's sake?
It's true. I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein.
Deal with it, for God's sake!
But, sir, the captain!
Captain Thomas has a fever. He's clearly delirious. Seize them immediately.
You can't do this! I'm a nobleman, do you hear? A noble! Get your hands off me! You can't do this!